Broadcasting live from Sacramento Public Library, it's the Tween Comics Club with your hosts, Caitlin and Lindsay, and special guest, Kim. Today we'll be discussing the book The OK Witch by Emma Steinkellner. Take it away, Comics Club.
Thank you, Nathan. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It is so good to see all of you on our virtual program format. Welcome, welcome. This is the Tween Comic Book Club, and we are so happy you're here, and we want to hear what you have to say. So type in the chat. Let us know. Thoughts, comments, musings, wishes, dreams, all of that, okay? We want to interact and chat it up with you because comics are the best. And we are here today to talk about a super duper awesome comic, The OK Witch. So just a few announcements before we begin the fun. Summer reading is here. It's summer. Everyone's out and about, and I hope all of you are signed up for summer reading. Super easy. Just go to our website and sign up. No problem. Read 5 books and you get a free book to keep forever and ever. 1,000+ years. It's yours. So everyone sign up. So easy. I know I've already read 2 books, so watch out. Let's see. The other announcement we have is we have a really special guest. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but Kim is a celebrity, basically. We have a celeb on our Tween Comic Book Club panel today. And she's a celebrity because she hosts a program, another amazing program, Anime Trivia. Kim, can you tell us a little bit about this program?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. I am the host of our anime trivia that happens on the 4th Friday of every month. So that's in like 2 weeks. We meet at the same time, same place, the internet. And we talk about anime. So anime, if you guys like comics, you'll probably also like our anime trivia. So you can come even if you don't know anything. We have anime trivia in a whole bunch of different locations. It's on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, we do Zoom, we do Instagram Live, and we pit everybody against each other to battle it out to see who wins. And so we have a lot of fun too. So if you want to join us, please do on the 4th Friday of every month for anime trivia. Thank you, Caitlin.
Oh, wow, Kim, amazing, astonishing. I will be there 4th Friday, of course. So means we'll see you there too. All right, let's break some ice. And readers, we want to hear your answer to this icebreaker question, okay? This is a really fun one. Okay. What first magic spell do you think you would accidentally create if you had Moth's new magical abilities? So Moth kind of discovers she's got some magical powers, that she's an OK witch in a very unusual way. So how would your powers manifest if suddenly you discovered you were a witch? Let's see, Lindsay, how would they manifest? How would you know that you were a witch?
You know, I think that what would happen would be like is if I got upset or something, or sometimes just like when I'm happy, I try and like lift cars and I can't do it. Like I'm really strong, but they're still too heavy. So I think what would happen it would just be like, all of a sudden it'd be like, whoa, I am lifting a car. But then I might not know it's magic because I might just think I really got really strong. So, you know, could go either way there. So
fantastic. Wow. Lindsay, if I see you lifting a car, I'm going to figure everything out. That's awesome. What about you, Kim? What about you?
I mean, I don't think I could actually top that one. Maybe with like some adrenaline, but for me, when I'm always out and about, I'm a huge cat person, you guys, but I don't have my own cat. So I'm always like, come here, kitty, come here, kitty. And then I think that probably what would happen is I would be so excited that all of the cats would come and they would rush me in this wonderful cat pile. And that would be really awesome. So can I have magic powers, please?
Okay, yeah, cat like conglomeration, that would be awesome first magical powers. Yes. I feel like it would come out in the most useless way ever. I would see someone being rude or, not just not following proper etiquette. And I would say, hey, and then they would turn into a pineapple.
What do you mean that's not useful? That's incredibly useful. That would be amazing.
That's true. Everyone loves pineapple.
And no one likes rude people or people who follow improper etiquette.
Right. So, yeah. And yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, friends. Thank you for supporting me. Let's see. Do we have any other readers' ideas of what they would manifest their powers as?
Oh, Nathan, our friend, says that he would make comments magically appear in Facebook chat.
That hits too close to home, Nathan. Okay.
Can you guys make that magic happen for us?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think this is a perfect time for Miss Lindsay, to do a book talk about what we're babbling about, this okay witch.
Okay.
Lindsay, can you help us out?
Absolutely. So let me share with you friends a little bit about this wonderful book. So if you haven't got a chance to read it this month, but you're still here joining us, we're so happy you're here. It's totally cool if you haven't got a chance to read it yet, but we wanted to tell you a little bit about it so you know what we're talking about and to inspire you to hopefully read it at some point if you would like to. So this month we read this wonderful book, The Okay Witch by Emma Steinkellner. And this book is about a 13-year-old girl named Moth Hush. That's Moth. And she lives in a small town of Founder's Bluff. And her whole life, she's always felt like an outsider in this little town. And it's always just been her and her mom, except for when she was younger. There was also Mr. Laszlo, who was the wonderfully kind man who took in Moth's mother and helped raise Moth when they had nowhere else to go. He was just the sweetest. But Mr. Laszlo passed away when Moth was younger, and now Moth's in middle school, and it's kind of just her and her mom. She doesn't really have any friends. So, things are kind of rough, but, all that changes one day because first there's a new boy at school, and his name is Charlie. And Charlie's favorite really specific movie genre is time travel action adventures, but not when they're dinosaurs. Just like Moths. And he is also allergic to pollen, tree nuts, and sulfa-based medication, just like Moth. They become fast friends, and things start looking up for Moth. But then at the same time, weird things start happening to her too. Like she was really mad at these two bullies in her class who were just being really big meanie faces to her. And so all of a sudden, when she got really mad, their mouths disappeared and showed up on her hands, which would freak me out so much if that happened. So that was all really weird. And then Mr. Laszlo shows up again in talking cat form.
No.
So what are happening here? Moth's a little freaked out, understandably. So she goes and asks her mom what the heck is going on. And her mom tells her that, surprise, the Hush women come from generations of witches. And that Moth is a witch too. Right? Oh my gosh. So her mom didn't want to tell her because she didn't want to scare Moth or anything like that. But Moth loves witches. She thinks this is the coolest thing that has ever happened to her. But Moth finds out that her mom really hates her. She really hates magic. So some stuff has happened and people have been really awful to her, but through time, it's kind of complicated. Moth figures that out. But her mom just really doesn't like magic very much. But Moth, she loves it. So she wants to know everything there is to know about magic. And since her mom won't tell her anything, she has to take, with Mr. Laszlo's help, her mom's diary and figure out both the history of the Hush women and how to do magic on her own. But in the process, she also finds out the history of the town is not quite what they are learning in school. It's a little bit different. And the founders of Founders Bluff, they might not be the most wonderful people that everyone seems to think they are. And the Hush Witches seem to play a big role in the town's history, even though Moth never knew that before. So this book is fun, funny, action-packed, but it also contains a lot of truth bombs about how we think about history and the role people play in history and how it might not be what we thought it was. So that is the wonderful The OK Witch by Emma Steinkellner. I hope you read it if you haven't gotten a chance to already.
Wow, bravo, brava. Thank you, Lindsay. That was awesome. I read the book, but you just brought up all these cool points that made me want to read it again. It is so good. Readers, let us know how many stars you would give it. Let us know if you have any critiques or comments on it. It's amazing. And if you're going to check it out eventually, let us know. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those themes you mentioned, Lindsay.
Okay.
One of the discussion questions we would love to hear readers' response to it. So our question for everyone watching and viewing, this is the question we have for you. Why do you think Moth's mom didn't want to tell her that she was a witch? How would you feel if your parents kept a secret that big from you? What would you do? It's a pretty heavy question. Why would she keep a secret like that from Moth? How would you react to that? I know what I would do, but we want to hear from you guys. So type it in the chat, let us know. But while you guys are typing that in, we will discuss a question. Lindsay, this is for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Why does Founders Bluff revere the Kramer family and then vilify, which is like kind of make the bad guys out of the Hush family? Even though the Hush family, they were responsible for saving countless lives. They were like true blue Avengers heroes. And the Kramers were jerks. Okay, let's be real. They were terrorizing everyone. So why is that?
You know, that is a great question because that's something that I found really confusing throughout the book too. Because when you actually see what Moth has seen in the past, it was really clear that the Hush women were awesome and the Kramers were just the worst. So, right? So I thought about why this might be, like why that might have been the case. And I remember this saying that I've heard where the history is in the hands of the victors. So like the people who win the wars or things like that, they get to write the history, even if it's not exactly what happened. And if you think about it, who generally has the power in history? Like in the history that we've seen in our country, it tends to be rich white men. So I think this book really shows it's a great example of why we should sometimes question the history that we're told. Because the Kramers, they had all the power, and the Hush women really had no power in their time to craft that narrative of what actually happened. Because first of all, they were witches. And instead of trying to live harmoniously with the humans, like what the witches wanted, the humans just automatically feared and hunted them. But then there's the fact that the Hush women are also women of color. So, you know, there's one point where Sarah's Moth's grandmother tells Moth's mother when she was younger that maybe it would have been okay for them to live, you know, with the townsfolk if they looked like Peter or old Jenny, who are some of the witches who are the white people in their group. Then maybe things would have been different. But the humans weren't ever going to accept the Hushes. So, I mean, that really shows that racism played a big factor in it too. I mean, even in Moth's class, she still has kids in her class asking her, where are you from? Even though they've known her entire life. They've lived in the same town their entire lives. So that really played a big role too, I think. So I really love that Moth is able to go back in time and use her magic and see who the real heroes and villains of the story were. And because of course the Kramers are going to say that they're the heroes because they're, because they're rich white men, everyone believed them. They were the people of power of the time. But seeing that it was the outsiders, the witch women of color that were the real heroes of the story, it was such a huge revelation for Moth. And she wanted to tell people, but she still couldn't get anyone to believe her, even in her own time, generations later. So I think it really shows that it's okay to question history, especially when what we learn shows that one group of people is always the heroes and then completely overlooks other groups of people. The only thing I think we can do is to try to find the truth and elevate the truth when we can, and, elevate the stories of people who are overlooked in part of history. So that's kind of a long answer, but I thought that was a really cool part of the story. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yes. And if you ever have questions, you can go to your local library and we can help you do your research project on what really happened. Mm-hmm. So nice job, Lindsay, tying that into the library awesomeness too. Love it. All right, Kim, are you ready for a question?
I'm ready for a question. I'm not sure I can answer it quite as eloquently as Lindsay did, though. But
you've got that.
For the
you've
question.
Got the witch hat on, so I think you're more than prepared.
All right.
It's a doozy. Here we go. So, the Kramers thought all witches were evil, and Sarah Hush, Moth's grandmother, thought all humans were dangerous and untrustworthy. By the end of the book, how do you think Moth and her mother felt about witch versus humankind? What about Mayor, Kramer, and Sarah? Did their feelings change at all?
Okay. Whew. Lots of questions in there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like in the beginning of the book, Moth and her mom were almost on opposite sides, right? So like Moth is like, witches are the best. I want to go and live with the witches. And her mom was like, no, witches are not the best. I don't want anything to do with magic. And I think by the end of the book, they kind of came together and were like a little bit, could see each other's side. So Moth was like, all right, I want to stay in this world with my family. I want to stay and, learn how to navigate being a witch where I am. And Moth's mom was kind of like, all right, I probably should have told her about magic. I'm going to teach her to be magical. And, we're going to find that in between thing. So that's kind of their, they both changed, I think, a little bit about where they were coming from and what they thought. As for Moth's grandmother, Sarah, and Mr. Kramer, who is Charlie's dad, that one's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
So the mayor clearly is like, I have this whole history that I've always learned. It's really hard for me to forget this fake history that I was taught, all of this power and position that I was given because of the story that I was told, kind of like what Lindsay mentioned, but I could give it a try. And Martha's like, okay, well, yeah, that's a start. As for Sarah, she was still like, yeah, no, it's still dangerous here. It's still dreadful here is what she said. So she's like, I'm going to make myself into a bird and fly away. Right. So, their feelings might have changed a little bit. I think that more has to do with maybe in the future, it's possible that they kind of come to a reckoning of what's going on, deciding, okay, well, maybe my family members have points, or I will make changes for my family members. But it's complicated, and maybe that'll happen in the next book. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Ooh. They are very, very, very entrenched in their feelings, and sometimes that's hard for some people. So we'll see.
Great. That's a good answer. Love it. We'll just keep reading. That's
well,
great.
I mean, not this book, but the next one maybe.
The next one. Well, we can reread this one too because it's really good also.
But we won't find the answers in this one.
That's true. That's true. But hey, we do have some responses from our wonderful readers.
Yay!
I want to get back to those because one of them, I'm so sorry I missed this one. This one was from earlier when we were talking about our icebreaker, and I love this one. So this one was from Meliesa, and she says that she thinks Moth's first magic spell should be the ability to make a sandwich because earlier in the book at lunch, she was trying to create a sandwich as her second magic. So that would have been an awesome first magic spell. But I would.
Well done, Meliesa. That is amazing. Yes. Okay.
And E-Train's World Book of Wonder says that they gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and it was amazing. Thank you for your review. You are awesome. I totally agree. E-Train's World of Books and Wonder has some wonderful thoughts on some of our other questions too. So first, they think that, in their opinion, that the Kramers, like in response to the question that I was answering about why the humans, like why the Kramers were the ones that were reviewed and the Hush women were villainized, they say that in their opinion, they think that the Kramers were, for starters, humans. And despite the fact that people may have believed in witches back then, they wouldn't want to believe in witches were saviors and humans were the villains. That's a very interesting perspective. Thank you for sharing that. And let's see. And also they say that they think that Moth and her mother were both on edge about the behaviors of humans. But Moth liked witches a lot more. And Mayor Kramer didn't like witches whatsoever, probably because of the consequences of his actions, and that he has proof now that witches are bad and did horrible things to him, but he knows to respect them. Sarah doesn't like humans still, but I guess her feelings changed a little.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And E-Train's name is Ethan. Thank you so much.
Ethan, wow. Thank you.
Comments. And then our Caitlin, can you read our question for the readers one more time? Because I think we got a few responses on that one too.
Oh yeah. So we were just wondering, why do you think Moth's mom didn't tell her that she was a witch? And how would you feel if your parents kept a big secret like that from you? How would you feel?
Well, some viewers on YouTube think that Moth's mom was just trying to protect her.
That's true.
Definitely true. And Ethan shared that he thinks that Moth's mom kept the secret for Moth because, like in many other novels, she didn't want Moth to be in danger. So that makes sense. Oh. But he did say, I wouldn't feel the best, to be honest about it. But if Moth's mom explained the situation a lot better, Moth may have understood. And I agree with you there too, because I felt like some of the explanation was definitely lacking.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Good point. Good point.
Yeah. Oh, and Parker on YouTube, thank you all for your amazing thoughts. These are so great. Parker on YouTube says that they thought that one of the reasons I think that the Kramers were there, or the Hush women were so villainized, was that the people didn't like the fact that the women were doing something. That's not too.
Yeah, that is accurate. Yes, I agree. Wow. Okay, the readers should be hosting this. They're doing an amazing job. Like, these answers are top notch. Wow.
You guys.
These are better than okay. They are okay, awesome. I don't know. Yeah.
You made up a whole new word, Caitlin.
Yeah, I did. Wow. Good job, everyone. Well, we're going to go and we're going to kind of quickly discuss our favorite panels and pages in this gorgeous comic book. This is a comic book club, and we love the art, and we like to talk about it. And readers, if you have a favorite page or anything, let us know in the chat. So we will start with their favorite panel. Kim, can you tell us about your favorite panel?
I sure can. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that there were so many good panels. It's so hard to choose. But actually, my panel is an entire page, but it goes back to a little bit about our first question that we asked all of the audience. I love in this one, so this is the scene where Moth finds out that she's a witch. She's talking to her mom, and mom was like, "Oh, I surprise, you're a witch. I thought you would be scared." And mom says, "Wait, I don't get it. Why would you think that I have a problem? Look at my house, or look at my house. Look at my room." And so I love this one for so many, many, many reasons. One of them is because, well, that's me. When I was growing up, I was like, look at my room. If I had found out that I had magic and my mother didn't tell me, I would have been like, dude, have you not seen my bedroom? So I just love it. It's got all these really great like little things. Moth is an anime fan too, so I like that. So she's got her Magic Cute Academy on there. She's got a Sabrina the Teenage Witch sort of thing on there, and some books that are all about magic and folklore. And literally, if you look at my bookshelf, it's almost the same thing. So that is the reason why I like that one. But there's so many good ones. Okay.
Thank you. That's awesome. And yes, I full-heartedly agree with you. I would also say evidence for wanting to be a witch. Lindsay, can you tell us about your favorite panel?
Sure. Mine is also a full page. Pretty much when I was reading it, every one of my favorite panels was anyone with Mr. Laszlo in it.
Yeah.
He's the best
thing ever. But this one was probably the one I laughed the hardest at, and it was when Moth was trying to figure out how to do some of the spells, but kind of on her own through her mom's diary. So she was copying her Highland agricultural detangling spell, or make large mammals look not gross, which I just love the name of that spell too. And I love the expression on the big animal's face when he's suddenly groomed. And then you've got Moth trying it out on Mr. Laszlo, who does not speak a lab rat. And he just turns into a big fluff ball.
He's so filthy.
So don't say anything. I just love Mr. Laszlo.
That was high comedy. That is amazing. Great pick. Mine is just because, like, if I found out I had magical powers, I would think of all the ways I would make my life easier, just like Moth. And my favorite of that of her kind of reveries and dreams of using her powers is when she's dunking in the basketball hoop standing on a broom. And it's just, it's darling. I mean, yeah, I would do the same thing too. I'd be like, I don't have to do any like chores. I'm just going to zip around on my broom. So I see you, Moth, and I totally empathize with that. So good picks, everyone. This is a really fun, the art is so fun and vibrant.
And we have a reader share. Ethan shared that this is his favorite panel on page 180. The picture of, I call it Hecate. I don't know if that's how you say it, if that's the correct pronunciation. But how the world is so beautiful, and the flowers and the flowing water is also gorgeous. And yes, totally agree.
Oh my gosh, good eye.
All the drawings are so gorgeous in this book too. They're just so detailed and beautiful.
Yeah.
It has such pretty like pastel coloring when you go to, I say it Hecate, so I don't know which is correct. But like the color changes too, and it's so beautiful. And they have this,
It's so
it feels
dreamy.
magical.
Yeah, dreamy, magical. I love it. How could you be scared of being a witch when it's like everything's like that? It sounds so dreamy.
Okay, and then we have one more from Parker.
Oh, nice.
Who is a reader like I am, who loves the Mr. Laszlo ones. Let's see if you can see if this one.
Oh,
Mr. Laszlo trying to convince the mom that he should and is doing that.
That was one of my favorites too. I almost chose that one because I love his like eyes.
Oh, they're so round and oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, these readers could run this Tween comic club. They're picking like the best stuff. Good job. Okay. Wow. I'm inspired. I just love the art. So, we had a good time talking. Now it's time for battle. It's time for trivia. And readers, it's going to be me versus Kim. And Lindsay will be the trivia host.
Oh, yeah.
And we need your help because I suddenly forgot everything. So we need your advice. Type in whatever answer you can think of for this trivia game. Are you ready, Kim?
I am ready if you guys help us because, I'm a little worried too. But I know that you guys love Caitlin, so I have faith that you will give Caitlin the right answers, and thus me.
Okay, so question number 1. Here we go. What is the name of the store Moth's mother owns? Is it A, Tower Records, B, Rainforest Cafe, or C, Keeper's Secondhand Treasures?
Okay. I live by a Tower Records. Wait. Or Tower Theater. Tower Theater. Tower Records?
Or Tower Cafe. No, Tower Cafe.
Oh, okay. Tower Records sounds good. So does Rainforest Cafe. It sounds magical. This is tough, guys, because they all sound so familiar.
We have Parker says they think it's C. Okay.
Parker says C. These readers are so smart and savvy.
And Ethan says it's C with the
Parker, Ethan are going with C. That means I'm gonna have to say,
And Caitlin, Ethan says to your answer of thinking it's Rainforest Cafe or our Tower Records, he says no.
Oh, okay. Well, I trust Ethan and Parker. I'm gonna say C.
What about you, Kim?
Oh, okay. So Rainforest Cafe sounds really well. These are real places, so are they really real? Although, you know what? I am seeing that apparently it's in the panel art. Is that right? Is the answer in our panel? No.
No way.
I don't believe that.
I think our readers' observational skills surpass ours.
Yeah, they really have. Leaps and bounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we had it up front, but now, I have to remember what that panel said. Is it? I remember it was red. Okay. You guys, am I supposed to? Okay, but everybody says it's C. Can I do C too? I think.
Yes. If you would like to.
Okay, I'm going to trust everybody in this one. I'm really scared though.
Okay.
I'm going to go with
What's
C.
the answer?
Well, you guys are all correct. It is C.
We did it! Thank you for the panel hint. I was seeing it in my mind.
Good job, readers. Because I don't think we would have gotten that otherwise. We have no powers of observation. Okay. Wonderful work, everyone. On to question 2.
Okay.
This is a tough one. Judge Nathaniel Kramer is he A, tacky and everyone hates him? Love the School of Rock reference. B, stinky and full of farts. C, bloody body villain. Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Or D, all of the above.
Okay. This one is a doozy. Okay. This one's tough because he is totally stinky and full of farts.
Yes.
But he's also tacky and no one likes him.
Perhaps.
And he also, I feel like, would be at the receiving end of an insult from Shakespeare. So C checks out as well. I don't know which one.
Well, Ethan says that It is C once again, although D would be good too.
Okay.
Tough. It's tough.
That is tough. See, Ethan is also probably grappling like I am right now with this. Okay.
YouTube viewers think it's D.
Okay. Kim, what do you think?
Okay, so here is what I have lots of thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. A, Tacky and everyone hates him. The problem with that is his son doesn't hate him, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Ethan says the citizens like him.
yeah, see, the citizens like him. If it's B, we don't know he's really full of farts. We haven't seen it. I mean, there might be farts out there, but we don't know it. So he's definitely a villain. He's remorseless and treacherous and lecherous.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
actually, we don't know if he's lecherous, but he's definitely treacherous. So I am gonna go with I'm gonna go with Ethan's choice of C.
Okay. I am going to go with YouTube and say D.
Well, the technical correct answer is D. But you bring up some wonderful points, so I will accept A, B, or C
Yeah!
responses as well.
We did it. We did it.
Good work, everyone. Very well thought out. I love it. Okay, on to question number 3. This one's tough. What
Okay.
does Moss' grandmother call popcorn? Is it A, popping poppum, B, salt blossoms, or C, my personal favorite, Bieber fever?
Bieber fever?
Bieber fever,
Bieber, as in Justin Bieber.
as in the Justin Bieber.
And you have a fever for
Bieber.
Bieber. Okay. Well, I know that's not it. Okay. Moth's grandmother, Sarah, is a poet, and she has lived through everything and knows all about, just like eloquent wordsmithery and all that. So I obviously am drawn to B, salt blossoms, because I don't think popcorn has ever been described so beautifully before. That is the one I'm going to go with.
I don't know. Man, can nobody help me in this one? Okay, you guys. Okay, so I really, obviously it's not Bieber fever because, well, Moss' grandmother has never heard of Justin Bieber. If she had, maybe she would have considered it Bieber fever.
Yeah.
So
Locks it, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
is
Ethan,
that what he does?
Ethan,
I don't know. I just was moving my arms.
good luck.
Did you really like the term pop and poppum? I mean, that sounds like something like amazing. I want to eat pop and poppin'. Maybe it's like a breakfast cereal or something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I see it. Lindsay, maybe I've got some input from our,
Yes. We do. Ethan
All right.
first said A or B, but then actually B. And then lots of YouTube responses are saying B. And Parker says best name ever. I don't know for which one, but all of them. I think.
All of them are really good except for Bieber fever.
My favorite.
That's my favorite.
Okay. Ooh, I think I also got a hint because somebody told me the page it's on. Ooh.
Okay,
That's
how are
fast.
these readers so good?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
This is like, okay, hats off to everyone. Like, that's amazing. I've never seen that. Like, they get extra credit. They're not even like in this trivia competition. They win. So good job, readers.
Very
All
nice.
right. Well, I'm going to go with what everybody has said because you guys are way smarter than me. And B,
Yeah.
Salt Blossom sounds amazing and beautiful. And I can kind of see like popcorns with the little
Yeah.
blossoms covered in salt. It's beautiful.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to go with B. What is it?
The correct answer is B.
Yay!
However,
However,
should be C.
Okay.
So
It
I
should
will
be C.
accept that as a correct answer because I like it. How about that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is the first time we've ever had a tie. Kim, it is an honor and a
Wow.
privilege.
Oh, it's only because 2 I got a freebie from. But the
Well,
second-
our readers are so wonderful. They are honored.
They're wonderful and wise.
Mhm.
And I wish everyone a delicious bowl of salt blossoms tonight.
Or
Good job. Yeah. Good job, everyone. All right.
Yay, I tagged Caitlin. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a celebrity in trivia, so this is like, I feel pretty good about myself. Are you guys ready to do some art?
Oh yeah.
To make art?
Always.
We have a really fun art activity, readers. If you want, you can join us or just tell us what you would create. The prompt for this art activity is that we want you to draw your familiar. And that's a creature that hangs out with a witch, gives them advice, support, some jokes. And so if you can, draw your familiar and then let us know what spirit they would be. So in Moth's case, her familiar was a cat and had the spirit of Mr. Laszlo. A great combo. So if you can, scribble it down or just type it in the chat for us. Let us know. Let's see. Lindsay, do you want to show us your familiar?
I would love to. Okay. So this is my familiar and this is a frog. My familiar is a frog. And he has the spirit of Vin Diesel, which is why he's driving a Barbie muscle car. And if you look really closely, it's kind of hard to see because it's very small, but he's been working on his upper body strength. So he's got some muscles and he's got a tattoo. So he's really And I've been told my car looks like a Prius. So I had to write Barbie muscle car on it too. And he has a wonderful spirit guide because he tells me often about the importance of family and the importance of driving really fast.
Family.
Those are really great things to get from Vin Diesel.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Oh my God, Lindsay, that's so good. I think you should frame that.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
God. All right. Do we have any readers who have told us about their familiars?
Oh, yes. Ethan says that it would be an elderly dog. He'd have been through so many life experiences outside exploring the world. So true.
Love it.
Parker says an owl, and Gianna says a cat, and MC says a fox. Oh, and Ethan adds, he would help me explore nature that would help with my magic.
Incredible. Okay. I love it. These are such good ideas. Kim, do you have your familiar prepared for us?
I do. Oh, okay. So this is my familiar. Are you guys surprised that it's a cat? It's a cat.
It's so cute.
But this is a very special cat. You see, it's hard to tell, but it's a black cat because black cats and witches are perfect. But also more than that, this is my spirit person is Caitlin. So Caitlin is all sparkly. You guys think that Caitlin is sparkly and like funny and amazing and like she also loves comic books. So and it's kind of like a Sailor Moon type thing. So I would love to carry Caitlin around with me and give me good advice that maybe I wouldn't listen to, but she would be amazing as a spirit guide. Don't you guys think so? I think so. So like a spirit guide, that doesn't sound right. As like my guide, as my familiar.
Yeah, that is the nicest compliment. Thank you, Kim. Also, you need to frame that and then give it to me because if I am ever having a bad day, I can just look at that gorgeous creature.
Oh, and Ethan agrees that Caitlin is very funny and amazing.
Okay, guys, your checks are in the mail. This is great. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay, I am just on cloud 9 right now. Do we have any other familiar suggestions?
We do have one more. Kaya, I hope I'm saying that name right, says a Siberian Husky and the spirit of their old dog, Esker.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, that's really sweet, and it's bringing tears to my eyes, so I feel kind of bad about mine. My familiar would be a flying squirrel, and he would have the spirit of our 26th president of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. And he would be a huge proponent of saving our national parks and protecting them. Sorry, the tone shift was a little rough on that one, but I think we could teach each other a few things. Him about antitrust breakdowns, and I could teach him about, maybe don't go on hunting excursions anymore. You're a squirrel. So.
And this is why Caitlin is the sparkly cat.
I love it. It's a very symbiotic relationship.
Wonderful.
You are teaching him,
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
And who doesn't want a flying squirrel?
He's just flying around, save the parks. Well, that was great. I love all the answers, and familiars are cool. Let's talk about what we're going to read next. Some read-alikes. What do you guys think? I think Kim is ready.
I think Kim needs a minute to bring her brain back down after awesome squirrel guy. Okay, so the book that Okay, I'm here now. It's okay. It's all right. The book that I chose today is Witch Hat Atelier, or you can pronounce it Atelier. Tell me how you pronounce it, because I've seen both ways, and I think both ways are good. All right, so, and it's by Kamome Shirahama, and it is a manga about a witch. Okay, so in Coco's world, magic is something that you're born with, kind of like in Moth's world. But when she has an encounter with a witch, she discovers that actually it's not something that you're born with. It's something that you discover. So you can draw and you make your own magic, and that is how you become a witch. It's just that it's kind of a hidden power. So like Moth, Coco goes and she practices her magic in secret. It causes a really big bad thing to happen. And that big bad thing brings the witch that she, kind of sneaked and peeked in back to her house and makes her become part of his atelier and makes her a witch in training. So, you spend the rest of the time trying to figure out if she can undo that terrible magic spell that she made that she doesn't know how to undo. So I know,
I want to read that right now. That was
so good. It's so
good.
beautifully drawn. It's the best book ever. So if you like witches, and you kind of like accidental magic, and you like friendship, kind of like Moth, she's got a really great best friend. You'll probably like Witch Hat Atelier by Kamome Shirahama.
I love that. Thank you so much, Kim. That's a great suggestion. All right,
a reader that said, "Oh my God, Witch Hat Atelier." Well, I say Atelier.
Both are right, Lindsay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's great.
I totally agree. It's like the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen before. It's just so gorgeous. So I love Witch Hat Atelier too. But my read-alike is another witch book, and it is called The Weird Books, Volume 1. And Volume 1 is called Be Wary of the Silent Woods. It's by Svetlana Chomakova. So, okay, you guys probably know Svetlana Chomakova. She wrote Awkward, Brave, and Crush, that's all hilariously wonderful, slightly awkward books about lovable middle schoolers. So any of her books really are perfect if you enjoyed that part of Okay Witch. But if you want that plus a witchy storyline, then the Weird books are great for you. So in Volume 1, we meet Alice Thornton, and Alice and her family are all Weirds. So I'd never heard of a Weird before, but apparently they're the same as witches, except they have these like familiars that are like, I don't know exactly what they're like spirit orbs that are outside of their bodies, but are like attached to them. If you can see them there, they're these like black and white things.
Okay, that's rad.
That shows that they are weirds. And Alice and her weird friends, they're typical middle schoolers, but instead of going to normal human middle school, they go to school during the night. They sleep in the day and go to school during the night with the other night creatures, because there's like vampires and werewolves and stuff, and they can't really go to school during the day. That would be rough. So this one, you know, they're spooky creatures, part of the spooky world, but they don't usually get scared that easily, right? But spooky things start happening, and it kind of freaks them out a little bit. So it especially freaks them out when people start disappearing.
No.
And they think it's tied to the super spooky house that they have to pass every time they walk back and forth to school. And then Alice's best friend's little brother disappears. So now they have to go into the spooky house because they got to get him back. And while they're in there, they figure they should find out what's happening. I like that they don't really want to go into the spooky house, but they have to. So it's great. It's funny. It's a great witch adventure. If you liked The OK Witch, I think you'll really like the Weird Books Volume 1 also. Wonderful Svetlana Chavakova book.
Oh my gosh, wonderful. We all have our reading lists ready to go. Our summer reading challenge is almost done. We'll have read all the books ever. So thank you for those suggestions, everyone. And thank you, Kim, for being here today for amazing Tween Comic Club. Everyone join us next month, July 9th, here online in this virtual world. And we will be reading and discussing Measuring Up by Lily Lamotte. And it's going to be amazing. And we want all of you to join us again because you're all so super smart and sparkly and great. So, goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.